All right, let's see. Do we have sound? Y'all know I'm always struggle streaming. Okay, here we come. Here we come. All right, everybody, come on in, come on in, come on in. Thank you all so much for being here. Lucy, I've missed you. So good to see you. How are you?
I've missed you too. You know, we don't speak for a week and it feels like we haven't seen each other for a year. It's so
I
weird.
know, I know. Goodness gracious. Well, hello, everyone. Come on in. Welcome to another Ask Us Anything. I am Maggie. Maggie, the substitute teacher. You may know me from my cooking channel. I'm all about food and femininity. I love helping feminine women attract and keep the masculine man of your dreams. And Lucy and I have founded the Finishing School for the Modern Woman. Enrollment is open. Our next session begins next month, January 6th. And hint, hint, ladies, there is a new feature where you can get this gifted to you. The Finishing School is a privately taught 8-week virtual Saturday school for ladies of all ages where we cover everything etiquette, femininity, elegance, and we absolutely love it. We've got workbooks, guest speakers, all of that. So we start again January 6th. If you would like to join us, the link is in the description. You can go to teachablemomentswithmaggie.com or put it on your wish list if you've been nice, hopefully not naughty. And the discount code Black Friday, all one word, is still active. Lucy, would you like to introduce yourself?
And I am Lucy, also known as Lucasely20. I have a channel, a small channel that mainly focuses on teaching Spanish. And I'm so happy to say that I posted something this morning. And I've been neglecting my Spanish learners for a while. So Thank you so much for being patient, my Spanish learners. And aside from the Spanish topics that I present, I also, from time to time, talk about elegance, femininity, and the role of women in modern society, the role of traditional women in modern society.
Absolutely. So you all don't wait. Go on in. You know you have them. Spam us with your questions. Lucy and I do this once per week to give back. Now, usually we have a Wednesday Ask Us Anything, but one of us was gallivanting around as per usual. So I
Okay,
may
who goes to New York from one day to the other? She sends me this text message, and I'm here going, she's in New York? What? But this is her. This is
this
this woman.
Lucy is like, I know who you are. Yes, y'all, I know. Maggie's always doing stuff. That's what my man says. You're always doing stuff. Like, where are you now? Y'all, I don't know. I have this thing in me. It's just like, I want to live life. I'm like, so we missed you all yesterday. So we are here tonight. Yes, I see y'all coming through the chat. We got Tara, one of our students here. The condemned says bit of an echo with Lucy's audio. Let me make sure I mute when she's speaking. Okay, focus, Maggie. So usually we're here Wednesday for you all, but we are a day off because I was gallivanting and around a whole bunch of different people. Not everybody knows what we do, and not everybody is interested in what we do, but we want to give back. So if anybody has any questions, no agenda, you can either type it in the chat or you can click the link that is pinned and I will drop it again. If you want to come camera on or camera off, if you would like the opinion of two older women, feel free to ask. So let's see who else we have here. We'll take a quick attendance while y'all are coming through. We got Linda Kelly in the house, another one of our students. Hello, Linda. Let's see. Okay, so Lucy, what have you been up to?
Okay, I just want to share this quote that I learned earlier today. It says, the meaning of life is to make your life meaningful. Isn't that incredible? I mean, it says it all. Find ways to make your life just, worth living. In this world, we only have one life. And I read this and I'm here going, this is why Maggie does the things she does because in anything she does, she finds meaning. So I appreciate you for all you do. I admire you for being such a hard, busybody, busy bee, because that's your marketing. You are your marketing. And, people see you, and I bet you that already people recognize you. You're a star.
Oh my goodness, you are too kind. Thank you so much for that. Y'all, I do. I always say on my channel, I'm a small town girl with big dreams, and I'm just getting started. But you know what, y'all? I love it when y'all tell me I'm doing the most because I'm like, in my head, you know what my unelegant self wants to say? Y'all keep coming back. Like, I don't know what it is. It's like people don't want to do what I do, but they like watching what I do. And then I don't mind sharing and telling the stories. And I'm like, y'all, I have been in 3 flights in the last 24 hours or 36 hours. But yeah, it's incredible. But I love being your extrovert friend that you all can live vicariously through because I'll try just about anything. Christina says, yes, Maggie, you're a beautiful star woman. Thank you, sweetheart. But a lot of good things are coming, y'all. And believe me, you will all see and hear about them. Celine says, I love Maggie's Christmas tree. Thank you. Okay, here's the thing, y'all. Look, tonight, ask us anything. So whatever questions y'all have, tonight is your night. It is a pop-up tree. It is a pre-decorated. I'm so Look, I'm in the kitchen, okay? I'm not a decor person. We'll have to ask AV about that. Y'all, it is a pre-decorated, pre-lit like pop-up tree. I'm gonna find the video and share my screen, but it like collapses flat. And literally, you just pull it up and then like just fluff out the bows. And I did put some extra lights on there, but it's wonderful, y'all. The boys are 14 and 16. I am a mom, and y'all know they bring the ornaments from school that look suspect. I love them. Yes, like no. So we went through all of those years and they would help decorate. And yes, those are beautiful memories. But look, I need it to be instantly Christmas and then instantly not. Lisa says that's the way to do it. Jaleel says, hey, Maggie, the substitute teacher. Hello, Jaleel. Ooh, we got a question. The condemned says, I'll start us off. All right. How do you two express displeasure with your man? Dun dun dun. Well, shout out to the condemned for shutting down the fun. But no, this is what we do here. So in all seriousness, so I'll take a stab at this and then Lucy can answer. Hello, Lamar. Welcome. So glad lead attorney brought you here. We both have a connection to the lead attorney. Displeasure. Displeasure to me is a strong word. I will answer your question, but displeasure to me is kind of like, I don't like you. And that's not how I feel. I may not like something that he does, but ladies, when I say choose wisely, I mean that. You want to choose someone that you admire, that you respect, that of course you love, that you like, that you are attracted to. Like there's so many qualities that make a person who they are. So I I don't think I've ever felt displeasure with him, the whole him. But is there something that he does that I don't like? Of course, that's just human nature. And I talk a little bit about this in my courses, but number one, timing and tone um, is a huge factor in getting your point across without making something that's already bad worse. So ladies especially, we are emotional creatures. So, there's just some things in relationship or marriage that's like, he just does that thing, right? Believe me, ladies, for all the things you think he does, we have so many things that they are just like, he would call me, he would be like, where are you now? I mean, joking, but you get it. So if you are upset, you need to figure out a way to bring yourself down so that you can have a conversation in a way that is not emotional. You may feel emotional, but you need to have your self-care or your self-soothing plan. You need to know what that is. I will like remove myself from the situation and I will say so. Like, babe, I need 10 minutes, I need 20 minutes, I need overnight, whatever it is. I'm upset right now and I need to get myself together. I don't expect anyone else to do it for me. That's number one. Nothing really happens that makes me like that unless it's the kids or whatnot. Then I will say, hey, babe, there's something that, I'd love to discuss with you that's been on my mind. Is this a good time? You never hit them when they come through the door with your nagging or your complaining because you don't know what they're dealing with and shouldering that you have no idea. And then you're just piling on. And then lastly, for me, I would say it very succinctly and get to the point. Y'all know I struggle with that. But men don't like all this detail. If they want the detail, they will ask. Men, especially masculine men, have grown up and have been raised being corrected all the time from fathers, from coaches or whatever. So don't tap dance around it. Just say, when you come home 2 hours later than you told me you were going to be here, I worry, or something. And then I would just say try to have a solution and offer a solution that's mutually beneficial. So that was a little bit long-winded version. Lucy, what would you say?
I totally agree. And the condemned man, he added, for example, being brutally honest. How would I let my husband know that he is really, he's breaking my heart from being so brutally honest? And and my husband is one of those. When he thinks that he's going to say something, he says it no matter what. And initially it was it was really interesting because the way we deal with conflict sometimes is learned behavior because we watch our parents deal with things. And my mom and dad, my mom was the one that would say nothing, nothing. And then 5 years went by and then she brought it back. And it's like, now you couldn't have brought it back the day. So I really work on making sure that I understand why he's telling me. It's because something that he's telling me, he cares why he's telling me. And that's all it is. My dad is a brutal, honest person too. He comes in, he looks at you up and down. Oh, you've gained 5 pounds. Oh, thanks, Dad. And it's like, and you get used to it. So I think that it's finding the right time. With my husband, I don't react immediately to things that he does. I just wait a little bit because as an introvert, it takes me some time to process things. And before I say something bad, I just retract. And then the following day I say, babe, what you said yesterday, I get it. I understand why you said it. But please, when I am eating, is not a good time to tell me that what I'm eating is bad. So, maybe find another time to tell me, I was looking at what you were eating and I wasn't sure that all that sugar that you were putting on your coffee was as healthy. But after the fact, not the day that I'm enjoying my sweet cafe con leche and drinking it because then it takes my taste away. So I think that you have to just choose the time, the place, and just always let him know that it comes with love. What you're going to tell him, it has nothing to do with him, but it has to do with the behavior and that, that you love each other. It's about love and understanding and when you spend time years together, you start learning what, not to sweat the small things. Um, and that's the thing that I have noticed that in modern life, modern relationships, we tend to give up so quickly on things that we're supposed to learn with years being together. We're supposed to find um, that I don't know, midpoint on, yeah, you know what? That's what he does. That's who he is. And that's that. Don't sweat the small stuff. But yeah, I think it's finding the right time, finding the right place, and finding the right tone to point out the behavior that wasn't as um, taken as well as it should have been.
Absolutely. And since Lucy was talking about her sweet café con leche, great time to let you all know we have a Maggie Lou meetup planned Friday, April 5th, 2024. You can go to teachablemomentswithmaggie.com, get your ticket, and it includes, I think, 9 rounds of tapas, which are small plates, either sangria or beer, live music. So this is open to anyone. You don't have to be in the finishing school, but this is open to anyone. We will have a meetup here in Atlanta. So if you want to meet us and dance, or maybe I'm the only one dancing, won't be the first time or last time. But yes, I did see Christina had a question, but I wanted to say one more thing to that. Lucy brought up a good point as far as men being brutally honest and ladies. I remember the late great Kevin Samuels. One of the things he said is, we don't understand men, but when you've grown up with a father or brothers or whatever, they will say some really like heartbreaking things to you. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I'm that girl. I love love. I've been with my guy, gosh, 12, 13 years. I don't know, forever. And I remember just looking at him one day and saying, babe, what would your life be like if I weren't in it? And I was just like waiting for the soft, tender response. And you know what he said? It'd be the same. And then it gets better. Then he was like, what? Was that harsh? And I'm like, but here's what he said. He was like, look, I hope it's you, but somebody's going to get on my program. Ladies, that is what he said to me. And I was just like, oh my goodness. But men are just, especially when they're on their purpose, they're just very focused and they don't really like, when I say it back to him, he says, "Oh, I said that. That was a little harsh." And I'm like, "Yes, you said that, but this is a constant thing." So, like Lucy said, just know they just are who they are, and we just love who they are, and just know that their nature is just to get to it. All right, yeek. All right, let's see. Let me scroll up. Now y'all are coming through with the questions. Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, so condemned. Thank you for the question. Hopefully we answered that. All right, so hello to Lamar. Jaleel says, okay, are we singing a song? Ooh, ooh, that's just what I do. Maybe that's a song lyric, but thank you. I have no idea what that was about. Okay, Christina has an essay. Question. I have a question. When you have a neighbor that you repeatedly are ignoring because we had it out before, but now I'm staying to myself, but every time I go outside, she constantly gives me the dirtiest looks. I'm ignoring it and walk on, but I'm to the point I want to say something, but I'm not because it's not worth it. I'm an adult and I've never had any problems until she moved below me. I don't know, I'm just trying to let it go. Whew, I feel the tension already. Okay, I'll take a stab at this. Um, I know you said I'm trying to let it go, but there was already a lot of emotion just in that, question or comment. Here's the thing, and this goes for everybody. I've been telling my consults, women who are looking for relationships, people who, whatever, this time of year, the holidays are a great time, an excuse to either reach out, heal wounds, turn over a new leaf or whatnot. Whatever y'all had it out about, like to me, I really value relationships. And so if it were me, you can see, you can say if you would do something different. I guess you could just continue to ignore. If she's going to look at you dirty, she'll just look at you dirty. But I would probably take a card, maybe a small gift, maybe a little note that just says, I know we didn't get off on the best foot, but, this holiday, I wish you the best and hope 2024 we could start over, or, I would, something that, it doesn't have to be like syrupy sweet, but just something that's like a little bit of an olive branch, like, we can let the past be the past. And I hope the new year just brings, love to you and yours, or something like that. I'm not saying you've got to be besties and do stuff, but I think you can use it as an opportunity to just try. And if she's not receptive and she still gives you dirty looks, then you can know that you gave it your best and just said, that's her, that's not my problem, and you move on. But, if something is still like underneath your skin about it, I would probably do something like that. What do you say, Lucy?
I agree. I would probably y- not do like the bestie thing. I would say maybe like a bottle of cider and a card saying, "Here's to a great new year," and that's it. And that's how you leave it. Whether she wants to think that she can be your friend again or not, that was your olive branch, and you did it. You took uh, initiative of trying to mend things, and that's that. There are people that are perpetually angry. They're not happy with who they are. They're not happy no matter what you do. So you cannot please everyone. So once you've given that olive branch, if she continues to with that behavior, there's nothing you can do to change it. You will know that you tried your best to mend things, and that's where it leaves. Don't try to escalate things. Don't try to approach her. Don't try to, you've already given the olive branch. It's going to be up to her to start saying hello, or just being nice to you. Otherwise, people are going to do what they're going to do. And that's that, unfortunately.
I love that. I hope that is helpful. So Sinji says, what did I just stumble into? Fellas, whatever wifey is eating, don't say nothing. A look will tell the story. Oh my God. Y'all, I have been there too. Like, let me tell you what I get. And y'all know I like to eat. Clearly, this is a struggle for me. You all right, babe? You must be hungry. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm mortified. It's so bad, y'all. And I know they mean well, but it's just kind of like, oh, but yes, we get the comments and it's just kind of like, I wasn't gonna say anything. I thought, thought you were going through something, you know.
And
Okay.
Sin is right. The look and the behavior after he said that, it was just okay. Now he felt really bad afterwards because now he's going to have to mend that kind of, mishap. But we talked about it the following day. Everything's good, but that's how it happens. We've been, when you're together so many years, you you go back and forth with, I know what gets him mad. I know when he's going to be very testy, when he's tired and his ears are a little red down here. I know that you do not poke the bear in any way because you don't know. But those are things that you learn as you spend that time together with that person, and accept that we're not perfect, and accept that we're going to have those ebbs and flows, goods and bads. And that's the beauty about keeping a long standing relationship.
Yes, that is so true. You already know what the other person is thinking, and that look, it's like, oh man, got me. Okay. Tara says, my husband is always honest, sometimes painfully, but I know he has my best interest at heart. I separate how I feel from what he says. I know he loves me and he isn't harsh just to be mean. That is so true. Ladies, we have to realize that men communicate differently, and we, even though it may land painfully, they'll just look at you and like, but is it true though? And I'm like, y'all know I was laid off in September, and I did. I went through a week where I was like, I don't care. I'm eating everything. I gave myself a week to just kind of go through it. He was like, and he's just not feeling well. So then I was like, yeah, I need to get back on track. I've just been eating kind of everything. He was like, I know. I was going to wait for you to figure it out. And I was that's just how they are, but they don't mean it to be mean. So I love it. Sinji says, we are. I have to scale back at times, and sometimes I ask Mrs. Sin, you want the truth or you want lies? I can give you either, but only one is the truth. Tact is the key. That is true. I get nervous every time I ask a question and the response is, you really want me to tell you? And I'm like, oh, oh boy, do I really want this? And sometimes I'm like, one, I don't know. Do I? Do you ever go through that, Lucy?
Yes. And sometimes I don't even ask because I know what the answer is going to be. So it's like, I'm not even going to bother because I know what he's going to say. And men don't like hypothetical questions. Men don't like to hear, babe, if this happened, what would you do? Because they think about the present and about how things are happening at the time because they're problem solvers. Our woman mind, girl math thinking to them is just completely foreign. And sometimes they have to deal with that. And sometimes he does. But I do know when I can ask those silly questions because I know some of our questions are just, okay, why am I asking this? Um, so I mean, they take the good and the bad from us as well. We take the good and the bad from them, and then they have to handle a lot of emotions from us. So yeah, I mean, yeah. Sometimes he does ask me, "Do you want the truth or do you want just the soft lies?" And it's like, I shouldn't have asked because he's gonna tell me the truth.
I know, y'all. It is so bad. I love what Lucy said about men and the hypotheticals. Ladies, we can have a whole movie playing in our head that is not even close to being real. So I'm friends with someone who went through a breakup, and then, I start asking, like, are we okay? Is everything okay? Am I, y'all know, I'm like, am I doing anything? Because I go right up to that line and just like, ah. He said everything's okay until you start asking me, is everything okay? And I'm like, okay, let me just not make a problem where there isn't one. So, yes. And hopefully, ladies, so especially you young ladies, I'm 48. Lucy has shared that she's 57. This is just part of female nature. I hate it, but he calls us agents of chaos because even when things are easy peasy, we're going to find something, just keep doing stuff. So just know this is who we are. They accept it. So I think it's not too much to ask that we know who they are and accept them. We're not the same. Oh my goodness. Lamar says, facts. I am learning to become a little more sensitive when I start dating again. We appreciate that for your future misses. Christina says, okay, I hope that was helpful. Jaleel says, I was singing a song, by the way, because Lisa said, oh, this is how we do it. Oh, that's so funny. Sinji says, as long as the Dallas Cowboys don't come out of her mouth, she'll be well taken care of. That is disallowed in this house. Well, I'm clear. Yes, ladies know their teams. I made that mistake one time. Michelle has a question. How do you deal with an extremely possessive and rejective mother-in-law to be? All right, I'll take a stab at this one. I can kind of relate, and I'm very conscious of this as a boy mom. You know, the relationship between mother and son, there is this thing that nobody's good enough for your son, right? And I get that. That's just kind of that primal thing. But the real world is we do want them, or hope, I think if it's a healthy relationship, we do want them to be healthy and have someone, because we're not going to be here forever and it's a different relationship. But I will say this, the extremely possessive and even rejective gonna hurt, but you don't have a problem with your mother-in-law. If this is the case, you have a problem with your husband to be, so your fiance. If he chose you, then he chose you. And that's a conversation that he needs to have with his mom. You don't have to be besties, just like in the other situation, but you should be respectful and pleasant to her. And I would hope that she would be respectful and pleasant to you. If it's just for no reason and she's just a miserable person, then, you know, with respect, I think your husband or husband to be should have a conversation with his mom without you present and let her know this is what I've chosen and this is going to be accepted or not, because he is a man. And then she has a decision to make. But I do think he should protect you. If you've done nothing and just your sheer presence, she rejects you for no reason, I'm really sorry. That's unfortunate. But that's what I would say. What would you say, Lucy?
I absolutely agree. Try to be as respectful and as friendly with her, even though you know that she's got issues with you. The one that needs to deal with her is her son. You don't want to get into this and that with the mother-in-law because again, you don't want one of the most special people in your future husband's life to be in that just harsh kind of relationship situation. It's hard. I know it's hard because you know we all want to be loved, and we want to be loved by the mother that we of the husband that is going to be mine. So, but that is something that your future husband needs to settle with her without you being in the picture.
Thank you for the question. Hopefully that helps, Michelle, and welcome. Tara says, sometimes I ask my husband a question and he'll ask me if I want the real answer or the one I want to hear. After that, I typically redact the question. I'm right there with you. You already know what it's going to be. I get the same thing. You really want me to tell you? And I'm like, no. Let me think on this for a while and circle back. Yeek. What does Sinji say? Sometimes with my dear wife, I just pull the Kevin Hart skit when Mrs. Sin is trying to tell a story. What? She told you bring it off the fax machine? No, she didn't. Not my baby. I don't know this story, but I will say this. Yes, ladies, the way we like details and context and all that extra commentary, if you have a man who listens to all of that, consider yourself lucky because most of the time they're just like, it don't take all. Oh my goodness. So the condemned says, facts, Lou. There was one clip of a woman asking her man a hypothetical of if he walked by a strawberry farm on the way home, would he jump the fence to eat some strawberries? The man said yes, and she accused him of cheating. Oh, ladies. Yes, let's
It's
try to live
true
in our.
though,
Mm-hmm.
because men with those hypothetical questions, they think, is this a trap question? Is this something that she wants to find to just entrap me and just make more problems for me when I'm just sitting there watching the game? Because again, we pick the most incredible times to ask those unbelievable questions that have nothing to do with reality. So again, those hypotheticals, I bet you in their minds, you know how the beautiful mind guy starts going seeing all those numbers and the pi theory, the theorem, they start thinking when they hear those theoretical, it's like, okay, what am I going to answer to this nonsense for the most part?
Yeah, if I asked a question, like I really have to think, do I want the answer? Because like okay, let's just say it, ladies. Do you think she's beautiful? Heck yeah. And you're like, ooh. So that's just who they are. So, think twice before you ask. Casually says, you both have taught me to talk openly and listen respectfully. Thank you so much. You're so welcome, my dear. I'm glad it's helpful. We love giving back. Jay Shar says, greetings. Hello, hello. Michelle, you're welcome. Thank you so much. Lamar says, we men be like, is this a trick question? That's what Lucy just said. And that's so sad. Like, I want them to be able to answer honestly. I don't know. I don't ask trick questions. I think of it innocently, but I just think like with rose-colored glasses. Oh, he feels the same way I do. Not always. Sinji says, bluff. Bottom line, be upfront. That's how we work and how our brains operate. That's true. All right, so Condemned has another question, and this may be a rough one. First one was a rough one, y'all. Jeez. It's okay. We can take it. How would you explain to women with children how they need to move differently when competing against women without children for the same type of man? Oh, this isn't rough. Oof. It's the truth and it hurts, but it's true. And I think I've shared here that I am a divorced mom, two boys, they're teenagers now, but the man that I have, when we got together, the boys were small, and he flat out told me he's not doing a blended family. We could be together, but I had to wait and finish, the job. There's kids on both sides, and he was just like, no, we're not doing that. We finish the job that we start, and then we can do, life once all the kids are up and out. And it was hard to hear at first, but I have nothing but respect for him for being honest with me because he gave me all of the information. And then I had a decision to make. Could someone have married me a year or two after my divorce and try and do the Brady Bunch? Yes. But I believe he's worth waiting for, so I decided to wait. And I just think it's better because some people can make it work, but it is very difficult. And my ex-husband is very present. The boys actually live with him now, and they come to visit me. But to answer your question, when we have children, ladies, I know we think of them as our kids and they're a package deal, but nobody sees our kids the way we see our kids. It is it is a constant reminder of another man's presence. It is a dependent that is going to consume resources, whether it's time, money, space, sound, all of that. And it is something that takes your attention off of the man, as it should, because children, when they're minor children, are a priority. But a man who's involved with a woman who has kids, he's already giving up so much just to be in relationship with you. Is it impossible? No. But what do you have to do? Take it from a woman who has kids. You have to overperform. I have to knock it out of the park in femininity, in agreeable, submission, being agreeable, the things that are important to him, um, my presence as far as like staying classy. Like, I just can't do whatever I want to do because I'm already coming in with a cost. So, ladies, if you have children, you better be willing to outperform every other woman, because he's overlooking someone who can travel when he wants to travel, has time for him when he wants time for him, doesn't have to talk to another man to arrange things so that we can do stuff. There's no distractions or, other things. It's just the real world. So I think you're much better off recognizing that, accepting that, and then working past it than to just be clueless and say, oh no, I'm just like her, but you have, other children. So that's what I would say. I'm totally honest about that. Lucy, what do you think?
I absolutely agree, and I couldn't have said it better. I mean, experience is speaking right here. She's dealt with that exact situation, and the man stood on his ground and said, "These are the things that I'm going to be able to do, but I'm not going to be completely um, committed to living and dealing with this situation until they're out of the picture." Again, that's the choice that you're having them having her to take. And the outperforming thing, she has to be 5 times better than the one that's not offering the children and all the baggage. She has to look good. She has to look, if she has to look younger. She has to look fitter. She has to be almost a chef when she cooks for you. All of those things that a single woman without a child could provide, maybe in an average way, she has to provide it twice to 5 times as better to be able to have a relationship with a single young man.
Yeah, so I'd love to know what you all think in the chat. The questions are for us, but definitely want to know what you all think. Thank you so much, UFO Kamikaze says sound advice, still wearing that Santa hat. All right, Lamar says, my ex asked me, do you think she looks better than me? And I always say no because it's the truth. If you weren't attractive, I wouldn't be with you. Well, that's lovely. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I don't know if I'm brave enough to ask, but I don't lead with beauty. I have other qualities, but I understand. Casually says, my man calls me wifey. What qualifications make a lady wife material? All right. Um, so there are some things that are going to be unique to your man, but there are some things that I think are universal to men. And I feel like I've said this over and over, but I will say it again. A man chooses the life that he wants for himself. He creates that life. He lives in that life. He is who he is. Then he chooses a woman to complement him in that life for whatever his goals are. It could be someone to just lay around and play video games with, or it could be someone to have, marriage and children. It could be second time around, you want, maybe a woman who's going to be mother or mother figure, or maybe an executive wife if you have those type of ambitions. But you have to, number one, understand your man or the type of man that you want. Kevin Samuel said we have to study them. So, like my man tells me, y'all got to be ready right now. Like a man is not trying to prepare you. You need to show up prepared. So, if you weren't raised that way, you need to seek it out. Lucy and I are here, but you need to seek it out and submit yourself to somebody who can teach you these things because there are women out here who are already carrying themselves as wives. If you are going to be the feminine asset to his masculine brand, you have to make sure that you are a support system to him in the way that he wants. Now, we speak from traditional relationships here. I always say there's plenty types of relationships and this isn't for everybody. I understand that. And I know people throw around the term wifey and that's cute, but you're either a wife or you're not. Full stop. I'm not even going to play like, oh, yeah, we're playing this thing. You're either married or you're not. So, what makes a woman wife material, I would say, um, is she teachable? Is she coachable? Is she pleasant? Is she trying to help? Is she really using her skill set to help further, um, her husband's vision? That's what I would say. Lucy, what would you say?
In addition to what Maggie said, always think, am I an asset or am I a liability? Are the things that I'm doing now, is he going to be embarrassed? Does he find these things disrespectful? Um, can I cook for him? Am I willing to have a hot meal waiting for him at the end of the day when he comes home? The fact that he's calling you wifey is that he sees you as a wife. My question is, when is he going to follow through the wife part? So, but it seems to me that you do have what it takes to be a wife. He needs to um, commit to that term by making you his wife. But it's just, don't be a liability. Watch what you say. Anything you say outside of the home has to be something positive about your husband because, again, you're representing him out there. Do not speak bad about anything that happens in your inside of your house because then again you are representing him out there. So think about you being his executive assistant. Learn how to anticipate what he would want. If he needs if some calls to be made, you could be making those calls while he is slaying the dragons out there or doing his work. You could be helping him. I don't know what your situation is, but if you're planning to be a stay-at-home mom, perhaps take classes about, do you want to homeschool your children? Do you want to them to do you want to be able to fix their clothing, home economics, do sewing things? Just are you you know, do you believe in those traditional things that make a traditional home? And those are things that he's gonna watch for when he's around you. So it seems to me that you are wifey material. You just have to maybe enhance some of those things if you don't think that you have those qualifications yet. And that's where the school we have starting on January 6th could help you because we talk about everything, including relationships, cultural differences, and so forth. So I think I don't want to make the answer long, but I think that just don't be a liability for him.
I love that. And I love long answers. Um, yes, one last thing I'll say casually is also you can ask. A big part of it is anticipating his needs, but here's a tangible thing that you all can do. So you said he calls you wifey, right? In a feminine way, maybe in a cute way, you could say, what makes you say that? I'm just thinking of what things that I would say. Here's the thing, bottom line, ladies, if he compliments something, do more of that. If he says that he doesn't like something, cut it off immediately. It's not even a discussion. If he says, and I'm not sure about that friend, like it needs to be like just easy for him. He's already dealing with a lot. Believe me, he doesn't want to come home and deal with more. So that's one thing you can do. And ask him, what makes an amazing wife to you, or what kind of wife do you admire? And listen if he talks about, different relationships, what he likes or what he doesn't like. All right. Thank you for the question. Tara, one of our students, our cheerleader, she says, giving credit where credit is due. The way I'm able to communicate with my husband is because of Maggie and Lucy. Aw. Women of all ages should attend the finishing school for the modern woman. It is life changing. Thank you so much, Tara. And yes, y'all, we have students from teenagers to over 50. We have enrollment is open. Lucy and I are ready to teach you all. It's really our life's work. Neither of us have daughters, but we have a curriculum. It is recorded. So if you ever miss a session, you have lifetime access, and we have guest speakers. It's just what we want to do to help turn things around. So many people talk about what's not working, but we are definitely here to try to help. And love, want to know what you all have to say. Ooh, I see casual in the back. All right, so I'm going to just go up to the comments, and then we will bring you up. I think I'll go ahead and bring you up since you're here. So we have you camera off, but casual. You're in with sound. How can we help you?
Hello. Sorry, I'm very nervous. You both are beautiful. It's blowing me away.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But to extend kind of the understanding of wife material and to kind of elaborate on the different qualifications per se, is I asked him if he was going on a diet because he's been working out a lot, and he said, yes, I prefer low carb. And I didn't know how to make low carb, but now I have over 300 recipes of low carb meals. And I've been trying to teach myself how to do embroidery. So it's a form of kind of stitching and sewing to fix children's clothes, etc. And I have managed some of his work whenever he was away visiting his parents, dealt with a little bit of work. He very much appreciated it. So even though these qualifications make me wifey material, I still get anxious about what awaits in the future.
All right, so a couple questions I have for you. How old are you?
I am
20.
20 years old.
Oh gosh, you're so young. I love this. And how old is he?
He is 35.
Okay.
A bit of an age gap.
It's still doable. Okay. How long have you all been seeing each other?
We've known each other for over a year.
So you said you've known each other for over a year. Are you in a relationship?
My feelings would say we are.
All right. So we're going to
He
stop right here.
does.
Uh-huh.
He does say, I want you to meet my parents. I want you to meet my family, my grandparents. And he mentions stories of his childhood and things that he is attached to personally that he shares with me. So
Okay.
it, to me, seems like a deeper connection.
Okay. And then last question. You all don't live together, do you?
We do not. It is a form of courting at this point.
Okay. Are you in the same city? Are you all like dating? You see him once a week or something like that?
My father and my grandpa primarily talk to him.
Hmm. Okay. So I'm going to take a stab at sharing my thoughts, then I would love for Lucy to do the same. First, thank you for coming up and asking the question. And I'm so proud of you at 20 that you are prioritizing relationships, because I do consults outside of here, you all, and most of the women that I talk to have waited until they're in their 30s and 40s and their hair is on fire. So you have so much time on your side. So I'm very proud of you. Now, the only thing that gave me a little bit of pause is that when you said, I believe we're in a relationship, and you're hoping he feels the same way. So whether it's this relationship or moving forward, I think it's absolutely fine to date with intention and to say that. And the easiest time to say that is in the beginning, where there's no pressure. It's just kind of, I've always seen myself as a wife and mother, and that's something that I would love to do one day. What are your thoughts on relationship? What are your thoughts? Not that you're trying to nail him to the wall, but you want to make sure that you have removed yourself from the category as just someone who just hangs around for fun. Doesn't make him a bad person, but I would hope and I would expect that a man at 35 would be very clear what he wants. And the fact that he's talking to your father, and I think you said your father and your grandpa, men do a much better job of reading each other and vetting him properly. So I guess what would you like the outcome to be?
I would, of course, love to be a mother and an enjoyable wife. I absolutely love the idea of being well acquainted with his family. That brings me pure joy and pride. So that is something that I would definitely accept. And he has been to put a little bit of depth into this and to kind of get across the point that I have separated myself from that group. He works a lot, around, I would say, 12 to 14 hours every single day. So he doesn't have much time to deal with anybody out of work besides relationship, like his parents, his friends, and a female to potentially become his wife and his partner.
All right, Lucy, I'd love to know what your thoughts are before I continue.
I love that at 20, you already have that traditional mindset. My question is this a long distance relationship or is this something that you see each other often?
It is long distance. I trusted in him enough to give him my father and my grandpa's phone number, and my dad and my grandpa have only said ever good things about this man. So that gave me kind of like, okay, we can do one step forward. Now we can do another step, just step by step, all with their approval as well, my father and my grandpa.
Okay, is he from this country or is it overseas, the relationship?
Not overseas.
Okay. It's in this continent. Is it North America?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So if your dad has have spoken to him and your granddad have already talked about it, what it seems that they do have a good um, he has made an impression on him about who he is. Is there any way, is there any thought about your granddad and your dad and you meeting him soon?
That is something that we have all discussed together. We have all created our kind of like our barriers, our comfort levels in that situation. And it all came down to the conclusion of um, the man that I'm talking to, myself, my dad, and my mother, all meeting together, like having lunch or having a simple coffee, not too much, and just getting open and getting to know each other.
Okay, it seems like he's willing to meet the folks that are caring for you and that are the most important in allowing you to make the decision. They are the ones that are vetting him. Um, do you have the same religious background, same cultural background? Are you in sync and all that stuff? Because again, sometimes when you have um, a stretch, not only age, but you have different cultures, different religions, that makes a relationship a little more challenging.
We we started off getting to know each other on different pages. I was a page behind him, and that sense of him, like me knowing that he can teach me things that I don't know about yet, inspired me and kind of drove me towards his direction. And he saw potential in teaching me. He understood that, I was understanding, I was rational, I didn't, you know, fuss that much about anything.
Mm-hmm.
But we get along pretty well.
All right, so I will say this. So you have actually met him though, right? Or you have met him?
We are planning to meet in a few weeks.
Okay, so the entire relationship has been long distance.
Yes, ma'am. I made sure that my dad and my grandpa were 100% okay meeting him before we
Okay.
Before we
actually
had
made
those plans.
plans.
Okay, so in this case, I would say, and I'm so proud of you that you have your dad and your granddad navigating this for you. I would probably say the first meeting should be just the men and let them meet him. They've talked to him, they have a good sense of him, and they will be able to get that feeling of who he is. Men just read each other differently. I would tell your dad and your granddad, hopefully they know what your heart's desire is. I don't know if, do you know, do you want to be married in a year or two or three? It sounds like you want to get married and have a family young. Is that the case? And does your family know what your desires are?
I would say 100%. I do want to get married around 23, 24. I want to have children before I'm 25 if, if God allows me to have a beautiful family. Then I, of course, cannot stop his, what would you call it? I can't stop God's desires for a beautiful life.
Understood. So I would just say, you have so much time on your side. There's no reason to rush. However, you don't want to waste time either. But because you are so young, you definitely need people with life experience guiding you. So if you've shared that with your dad and your granddad, let them make sure that your, we won't say boyfriend, but your acquaintance is very clear, and because he has so many years your senior, he should be able to, one, know what he wants, articulate what he wants, and then act on what he wants. And then your dad and your granddad will be there to make sure he is a man of his word, at least when it comes to their daughter or their granddaughter, and he's not playing any games. So I think if he's willing to be put through the test of their scrutiny and he passes that test, I agree. Meeting together as a family unit, I think that's very respectful because you are so young. And so, whatever his goals and his timeline is, he should be able to communicate that to the men of your family with confidence. And then, if so be it that you all are supposed to be together, I think you could have a beautiful life together. But I agree, stay underneath the covering of your dad and your granddad, and they love you and they want what's best for you. So if they see anything that's off, I would trust that. And then just, I think it could be something. I don't know, Lucy, would you add anything else?
No, I would think that allowing the men of your house, the elders in your house, the men to do the vetting for you is a great start. And keep us updated. I can't wait to hear how it all goes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Casual. Was there anything else we could help you with, or did we hopefully answer your question?
You guys did amazing. You covered it thoroughly. It was amazing. It was excellent. Very eye opening. There were some angles that I didn't see by myself. Of course, I sat back, talked to myself about it, went all the angles that I could see. But this was amazing. This was a great experience, and I will follow up with you guys. And
Absolutely.
but of course, Maggie, I will have to say a thank you to you because I don't know if you remember, but our first talk together, our first call, you gave me the advice to bring in my father and my grandpa into the equation. So you've kind of helped me take a step forward in my relationship and put it on the right path.
Aw, you're so welcome, sweetheart. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. And it is important. We value men here, and their voice is so valuable, and their wisdom and their discernment. It's just something that a lot of times we women, we're hopeful and we want things to be the certain way, and men are realists as much as we are optimists. So I'm so glad that that's working in your favor. So yes, come back anytime and keep us posted. I can't wait.
Thank you. You
Thank you.
guys
You
have a
guys have a
beautiful
beautiful
evening.
evening. All right, you too, my dear. Oh, that's so sweet. I'm so excited. Ah, all right. I love the young ones. What does Sinji say? I'm the jokester. Really? But serious one between us. If she asks if I think she's still beautiful, my reply, do you want to become a mother again? Wink, wink. Gotta have fun with it sometimes. Absolutely. We love love. Absolutely. Joe says, is she cooperative? Yes, we were talking about wife qualities. Absolutely. The Condemned says, a wife has the same morals, values, principles, and beliefs, to name a few qualities. I love that. We have Lady Naboa. She says, hope you all are having a good holiday and are ready for the holiday. Hello, everyone. Thank you. All right, let's see what else you all are talking about. Ooh, Jay says Maggie is preaching and Lucy is teaching. I forgot what we said already. Who's here? Killa says there's an echo. Okay, on the guest side. Hopefully we got that. We try to mute when the other person is speaking. Killa says, yes, I wish I had this kind of platform when I was that age. We really believe in the older women teaching the young. Absolutely. And culture will make a huge difference in this interaction. And yes, I love that. She is very receptive, especially to be so young. Who do we have here? The intentional millionaire coming through. Thank you so much. He says, what type of conversation about relationships should a 21-year-old have? Okay, so I'll take a stab at this, and then Lucy, I'd love to know. And I don't know if you're asking for a 21-year-old woman and man, but I'll answer for both. I think a 21-year-old woman, just like casual, I think she should know what she wants and what type of wife and mother she wants to be, if that's what she wants. I think a lot of women waste time and they don't think about it until their hair's on fire. They're in their mid 30s or God forbid 40s. So I love that, not wasting time to hot girl summer or give your years to corporate. I think knowing that relationship is a priority is the first thing. And then just like casual, as far as the conversation, when you're that young and inexperienced, you should be having that conversation with the people in your life that you trust. So mother, father, uncle, brother, grandpa, someone to guide you, because you just don't, know. And I think it's beautiful. I think the innocence is absolutely precious. For a 21-year-old man, I don't think he should be having conversations about relationship because he's just too young. I know it was hard to hear when Kevin used to say, men need to take those 10 years to be heads down and eat, what. But it's true. And as a boy mom, I've seen it now. The boys are sophomore and junior in high school. And I'm like, there's no way they're going to be ready. Unfortunately, the world that we live in now, and my man talks about this a lot, men, it is imperative, and I am not a man, but in order to command the amount of respect that you need in a relationship, you have to have some type of leverage in that relationship. If your woman doesn't respect you, it's going to be contentious. There was a time, I was married young, but my ex-husband was 7 years older. There was a time when people would get married same age in their early 20s and build together. That's becoming, more and more rare. So I think at 21, I think a man can say, this is something that I'd like to do one day, but I'm not there yet. Those are my thoughts. What would you say, Lucy?
I agree about the side of the man between 20 and maybe 32, 33. The focus should be on getting themselves together. When it comes to 21-year-old women, young ladies here in the Western world, it's really challenging for me because I have a niece that's between she's, I've been dealing with her for the past 3 years, and that mentality that the school system, the universities have put into them, that unfortunately they do not listen. They think that they know it all. And Tia Lucy is old. She doesn't know anything. So even if you try to be helpful, if they don't want to hear it, like Casual, she called in and she was interested to know how to do certain things, they will not listen. What you should be, if you're interested in a 21-year-old as an, 30-year-old man maybe, you want to hear what they do for hobbies. Are they on social media? What do they have on their social media? Do they have plans for the future? Are they just talking about just material or just nonsensical things that do not seem that she's working on developing herself? That's a tough one for me.
All right, Tim, the intentional millionaire. I hope that answers your question. Let us know. Thank you for being here. Kayla says, this is a very traditional and Eastern way of doing things. I'm surprised people in America do stuff like this. Are you talking about having the fathers speak for the young women? I think if we had more of that, we wouldn't see some of the craziness we see. Oh, y'all are still talking to each other. Kayla says she's very smart. Yes, I think she is. For asking. And just asking is an admission that you don't know. And I think that is a beautiful quality for a woman at any age. When we think about the feminine and the masculine, Lucy talked about Western women. A big problem that we have is just thinking we have to do everything, thinking we have to know everything, not receiving help, not asking. I was flying around this week and, there was a big man behind me and I'm, struggling with, okay, I wasn't even struggling. Let's just say it. Before I even reached for my luggage, he was like, would you like me to get that for you? I turned around and I said, thank you so much. I absolutely will. I am very receptive to help. I told y'all I'm like memory foam, but so many women, they almost see it as a slight against them if anybody has to help them. I'll never forget, and I won't say who it is, but somebody I used to work with. I remember I was bringing something in the office, or I had some boxes, and she was between me and the man that I was asking. So I kind of spoke over her in the cubicle, and I was like, so and so, do you mind helping me with some boxes? And this woman turned around to say, I'm offended you didn't ask me. And I was like, California girl, if you don't sit down somewhere, we are in the South. But anyway, don't get me started. Yes. Tara says, yes, keep us updated. Kayla says, the world nowadays, especially in the US, is not like how she's approaching this yet. You guys are already making a difference. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Okay, y'all are still talking about football. Okay. Sinji says, always appreciate the queens helping our sisters and brothers. Keep it going. Oh, thank you. The intentional millionaire says those were some gems. All right. Anything else to add, Lucy? I don't see any other questions. Y'all can put them in the chat or click the link.
Nothing really. Oh no, Killis, look at this. Look at what she wrote. Oh no, Sin. This is not gonna be good. Anyway, my husband is ready to have dinner. I'm not gonna get in between that conversation between Killis and Sin. But if you don't have any more questions, I think we're good.
All right, everybody. This was a little bit later, but thank you all so much. So again, usually on Wednesdays, usually about 8 p.m. Eastern, Lucy and I are here for your Wild Card Wednesday. Ask Us Anything. Lucy and Maggie, Laverne and Shirley, Kid and Play, Salt and Pepper, whatever y'all want to call us. We are here to give back. Again, if you're interested in coaching or any of the one-on-one services I offer, teachablemoments.maggie.com. Lucy and I will be teaching the ladies our next class, January 6th. And lastly, we will have our in-person graduation for our students. Yes, very excited. Y'all voted for the Cheesecake Factory, so yes, we gladly accept the Cheesecake Factory. Lucy and I will be covering the graduation dinner for any of our ladies, either in the previous session or the upcoming session, to come to Atlanta. The day after our meetup, Saturday, April 6th, we will be giving your plaques, your graduation plaques, from a very generous donor in the community, and we'll be able to meet and fellowship together, just as ladies. All right. All right. So I think that's it. Thank you all. If we didn't get to your question, we will catch you on the next one. And until then, thank you all so much for being here. And we wish you a very good night.